Time to feed these hungry PC fans, PC nerds, and PC geeks of the tech industry. Alright, let's do this. Hello, people. Another beautiful day. Yep. Hope your 5 senses work. Hope your health and strength is good. What? And to you PC fans again, PC Tribe, PC Nation, PC Universe, PC World, what's good? PC Legion, what's up? PC Mob, and the PC Squad, what's up with it? Alright, now, we talking about this Nvidia 4090 cable situation. You got 9 users affected by this. Listen to this. It says here, hope I got it here. Got it. It says here, more users encounter melting issues with Nvidia RTX 4090 12VH PWR cable. Says the adapter cable from Nvidia can suffer from overheating issues due to its poor build quality, according to tests from journalists and reviewers. Says here the power cable for Nvidia RTX 4090 graphics card has shown signs of melting for another 7 consumers, bringing the total up to 9. Says here users on Nvidia Reddit forums have been cataloging the cases ever since 2 users initially reported the problem earlier this week, which prompted the company to investigate. It says the issue deals with the 12VH PWR adapter that comes with the RTX 4090 product. It's designed to funnel more power into the graphics card through a single cable, but the same adapter can end up melting along the plastic fringe of the 16-pin connector, according to unlucky consumers who've experienced the problem. It says, well, I used the card for one day. I was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, barely opening the game, and played for 3 minutes. Then I felt burning smell, and I immediately turned my PC off and took the cable, wrote one user on Reddit on Friday who posted pictures of the melted connector. Yeah. Then it says, look like the boogeyman got me too, wrote another user, which noticed the issue after his PC began crashing. Shows picture here. Says, so far, Nvidia has remained mummed on the matter. The company hasn't responded to requests for comment, but in the meantime, reviewers and journalists say they found the source of the problem. According to Igor Labs, the Nvidia branded 12VH PWR adapter cable suffers from poor build quality, which can lead to the overheating. Specifically, the adapter contains a metal bridge inside the connector that's too thin. Says the same bridge can easily break if the cabling is bent at the 16-pin connector, which can cause an improper connection and result in temperature spikes. Then it says here, the finding echoes an earlier warning from the industry group PCI SIG, which told companies earlier this year about the 12VH PWR cable causing heat problems if it fails to properly insert itself into a graphics card. Oh no, you don't. Stop. says here, if true, then Nvidia may be forced to issue a recall for the connector over the potential burn hazard. But the problem seems to only affect Nvidia branded 12VH PWR adapters, not third-party cables, which have better build quality according to Igor Labs. And it says here, if you do own an RTX 4090, you should avoid bending the Nvidia branded 12VH PWR cable close to the 16-pin connector, according to the company Cable Mod. However, one consumer note their own 12VH PWR adapter began to melt even though the cable was never bent. Then here's another article here over at Extreme Text. Yeah, Nvidia's. You know what, I found this interesting that this happens right when right after the EVGA split. Here's the other article. Says here, this is on Extreme Text. Says here, RTX 4090 cable, RTX 4090 gate saga continues. Nvidia adapter possible to blame. It's going to say here, this week we've seen more reports of fired RTX 4090 adapter, which the count's now up to half a dozen or so. Previously, we just knew that some adapters were melting, and in doing so, also damaging the connector on the end. It wasn't clear exactly what was to blame for the situation. Was it the adapter, the bent of it, some other engineering mishaps? Now the intrepid tinkers at Igor Labs have revealed that they believe is the culprit. The Nvidia designed 4-pin into one adapter. This takes 4 8-pin cables and route them into a single 16-pin plug. Its poor construction is likely the cause of the issue, and photos revealed to be a hot mess. Pardon the pun. It says here, previously all we knew was that adapters were melting. It was theorized it was somehow related to bending the adapter, which requires, due to the size of the GPU, the width place connector close to most causes, side panel necessitating an almost 90-degree bend to move the cable out of the way. This isn't rocket science. You don't want to put a serious bend on my electric connection. This might not be an issue if the connection was as solid as a rock. However, it turns out it's not very solid at all. This is seemingly due to insufficient soldering around the wires, which is meant to keep them in place. Igor Labs took one of the adapters apart to investigate, and the result aren't pretty. Almost done here. It says here, according to the investigation, there are 6 contact patches and 4 wires on each side of the adapter. 2 on the edge are soldered to 1 point each, and the 4 in the middle are connected to 2 wires each. You can see in the photos there are a surprisingly small amount of solder used for these connections. Igor Labs says the connection used a 0.2 millimeter copper base with 2 millimeter of solder per wire. That leaves 4 millimeter of solder for the twin cable connector. For 14 gauge wires, that's not much. Not just imagine bending those wires at a right angle while they're hot. You can see the problem. This could cause the solo cable at the edge to get loose first. Unsurprisingly, that's exactly what we've seen in several of reports so far. When that happens, all current will flow through remaining wires, so they will heat up drastically. And then, let's see, 2 more paragraphs and then we're done here. Says here, to summarize the finding, the problem is not with the actual cable coming from the power supply unit, nor is it with the connector and the PCB. It seems to lie exclusively with the adapter designed by Nvidia. This includes with every ADA GPU and was made by a third party for Nvidia. Igor assumes Nvidia wasn't aware of how poorly they were made, or it didn't examine them too closely. If it had, it would never have allowed it added in board AIB partners to include them with its flagship GPU. Sounds like finger pointing here. Okay, one more paragraph and we're done here. It says here, for now, Nvidia is still investigating. According in an update, Igor Labs says Nvidia has reached out to its board partners and asked to have all damaged GPUs sent to headquarters for analysis. the next logical step would be for Nvidia to announce a recall for the adapter. It should have new adapters made and replace them for free. That could take some time, obviously, and will seriously pee off current RTX owners. However, those gamers will likely prefer a shader adapter in the long run. They should alternatively purchase an ATX 3.0/PCIe Gen 5 power adapter, but those are still hard to find. Plus, they will be expensive. Some companies like Seasonic and Cable Mods are also offering 90-degree adapters as well, but they are not for sale yet. And then it says here, until we hear from Nvidia officially, our advice is pretty simple. Be careful with your adapter and don't bend it. If it's currently bent due to your case size panel, take off the side panel. That's the end of the article. So, well, you know what? You know, when you build a PC, right? You got all kind of cables running in there. So you got to use a like a ribbon cable, you know, like to tie them all together, you know, and you know, to provide space. Like some cable you can bend all over the place and get a good performance. Fiber optics, you can't do it. With the 4090 now, the cable connector is too thin. You can't bend it. If you bend it, it causes damage, and that might lead to heating problems. If you've been building PCs before, you know if you bend a pin connector, like a pin on the CPU or a pin on anything, it might cause damage to the performance of your PC. So what I find interesting about this too, though, is that this happened right after the split with EVGA, you know, and it's like, you know, it's like you reap what you sow, or what goes around comes around. So, you know, when EVGA and Nvidia made the partnership, every company in the tech industry were watching to see how this was going to pan out. And even though that they got their own software or hardware that they're working on, they were watching this partnership to see how it was going to pan out. And you're seeing the outcome of it right now. So you saw the outcome of it with the split, and then you're seeing like the other end results of the split. So, you know, companies right now, you know, they're questioning themselves. Do we want to partner with anybody, or do we stand on our 10 toes and keep moving forward, you know, or go in a different direction? But for the consumers that bought the 4090, you know, I would tell them to stay. Me personally, I would tell them to stay away from that card until Nvidia builds a better card. You know, wait until Nvidia builds a better card, or they're probably hardcore Nvidia fans. You know, wait till Nvidia builds a better card, or use the graphics card before the 4090 to avoid the problem that they're dealing with right now. But right now, that 4090 graphics card, you know, the connection is too thin. You know, and in your computer case, cables are being bent all over the place. This particular connector cannot be bent; has to be straight. So you know what I'm saying. So the best thing to do right now is stay away from it. You know, and use the graphics card, the one that came before the 4090, and then wait till Nvidia fix this problem completely, and then go on from there. But right now, yeah, right now I would stay away from it, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Let me know what y'all think. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek fan. Dark side. Go. Peace.